Good afternoon, Backstitchers. Okay, we are back for the final day, day 5 of the Gus Pattern Weight Sculpt Along. So today we're going to be adding the quote-unquote frosting, which is going to be the light blue color, the accent pieces, and then we're going to also be making Gus's legs and shoes and connecting him to your base. So yesterday we got the base and the weights of our pumpkin done, and we made the sectioned parts of the pumpkin. Today we're going to be covering those in your blue color, and to do that I'm going to be cutting half of your robin's egg blue. So half a row. Now for this part right here, we're just going to use the normal blue. So to get this in here, we're going to have to lighten up the blue. So so you can tell that there's a color contrast there. So I'm cutting off a chunk of white from that 8-ounce brick, which doing 2 pattern weights out of an 8-ounce brick. This is how much we have left, which is probably about the same amount, maybe a little bit more than one of these 1.7-ounce bricks. So we want to start by softening up your clay, your white clay. So we're just gonna roll it in our hands until it becomes more pliable, and you'll be able to feel that. Doing this, the natural oils from your hands, along with your natural body heat, the heat that comes off of your hands, and the friction, it'll start to soften up. And you're going to do the same with the blue. And then you're going to take the two, you're going to mash them together. And then you're going to keep rolling, pulling apart, mashing together until you get one solid color and it's not a bunch of swirled like that. I mean, you can, there's different shades of blue and different shades of red and pink and stuff like that, but instead of having you guys go and get like 2 shades of blue and 3 shades of pink and 2 shades of red or whatever, I just money wise, you can get the same difference in colors just by mixing a white with a blue or a black with a blue to get to different shades of that color. I mean, my personal, my colors, the colors that I have, I have them color coded. So I have 2 boxes. I have blues and more blues. But even still, even having like all these different shades of blue, I still, I would say at least 75% of the time, and even more when I first started working with clay, I just mixed the color to the color that I wanted. But then as I started getting more into it, when Michael's or Joann's would have, you know, a sale on their clay, or they would have a like 20% off your purchase, your total purchase, or stuff like that, I slowly built up my clay, the amount of clay I had. So now what we're gonna do is, so our light blue is pretty much, it is one solid color now. There's no swirls or streaks or anything like that. It's one solid color, and it's pliable, so it's not too sticky and it's not too hard, so it is good to work with. So what I'm going to do is, we need to cover our pumpkin, and then we also have this little piece right here. So to make sure that we have enough for that little piece that sticks off, I'm going to rip a piece off. And I'm going to set it aside just to make sure that, you know, we don't use it all, or if with your scraps it could, you know, get more dust specks in it that you would like. So we're going to just take a piece of that and keep it to the side. So we're just going to pull, so we have our clay, and we're just going to pull a little bit off of the bigger piece, and we're going to just roll You might even want to do this on a piece of parchment if it's sticking to your board. We're going to take it and make sure that it covers from the top to the bottom. So now it's too short right now for me. I'm going to tilt this down. So I still need to roll it. I need to use some cornstarch because my board is getting sticky. All right. All right, so when you got your, the piece can go, when the piece that you just rolled out can go from the very top of where all of your points meet to the bottom, to the point where it meets, the length is good. So now that I have that, all I do is I take my blade and I'm going to create, I don't even know how you, kind of like a, I don't know, like a wedge, like an orange wedge, like the shape of a orange wedge. orange peel, I guess. Just like this. Or like a leaf. And then you're going to place it on your pumpkin to where your all your wedges meet. You're going to place it there. And drape it over one section of the wedge to make sure it's covering the whole, like your center it, and it's covering the whole wedge. So now what you're going to do is you're going to press you want to make sure that your sides are covering, and they're basically going to go down into those valleys that you made. Now, what you can do, like with your extras, just put them in a pile. Take the blunt edge of your clay knife and do this basically the same thing that you did when you were making your base. You're just going to take that hard edge by kind of rolling it and make sure put your blunt edge of your blade in that valley, and then just press and roll up at the same time, putting most of the pressure on the edge of your blade, or the edge of your clay blade. Now what this is, it's going to seal the clay to your blue clay to your white clay, but it's also going to, that smooth metal is going to smooth out the clay that you're pressing on, and it's also going to keep those valleys in there. See what I mean? So now you're going to repeat that process for each one of those wedges. So again, you're going to measure to make sure that it's long enough, which it is, and then make sure it's wide enough to cover the widest part of that section of pumpkin you're working on. And then you're just going to cut that shape of that leaf. Okay, so then same process. You're going to lay on the next okay. Doing the same process that you did in the first one. Um, but you also want to make sure that you're not holding it too rough, or you're smashing down to lose the shape or the form of the first one that you've done. So do it on both sides. Now we're going to do number 3. Your clay is sticking to your board. You can do a light dusting on each side of your clay, so that way it doesn't stick. Okay. Cut out that leaf shape again. Okay, got that part. You got it on. So now you just go in with the blunt edge of your clay knife and you press down and roll up. Down, roll up. Okay, and I do the same to the other side. Okay, so number 3 is done. Now we're going to work on number 4. Add some. All right, so covering number 4. Sorry about that. We're just still covering the, I don't know why my computer keeps, I try to change the settings and I thought I'd fixed it, but apparently not. But we're still covering the, the sections of the pumpkin. We're on number 4. Okay, we got 2 more left. So you take your remaining, split it in half. Almost done with this part. A little bit of cornstarch on the top, flip it over. On the bottom, roll it out. Okay. One more to go after this. Okay, so now we just got one more left, and then we'll be done covering the pumpkin. And the only the reason why I do it this way is because, like, I don't want to have to mix like a whole small brick of blue and a whole small brick of white just to get that blue. To me, like, you're saving a little bit of clay doing it this way. And then instead of using all blue to build your base, and then it may take a little longer doing it this way, but if you're able to use, especially if you're able to use scraps, definitely saves you a little bit of money doing it this way. So almost done. All right, our pumpkin is completely covered, finally. So now we can set it down and make sure that it's even. You might want to give it a little press just to make sure it's sitting where you want, how and where you want it to sit. So now what we're going, so obviously this is going to be the base. Now what we want to do, we're going to take a bit more of the blue. Actually, we're not going to use the solid blue. We're going to use the same color that that we just used to cover the pumpkin.